and hi everyone. Okay, for this week, we will proceed to the next topic for our lecture, which is the topic for this week is instructional design for courseware development. So, in this topic, I will explain to you some model of the instructional design or instructional model, how we want to develop or how we want to implement our product, which is our courseware, okay, into our class or teaching and learning process. Yeah. So for today, the learning outcomes for this topic is first to describe the meaning of what is the instructional design, and the second is to identify instructional model, and the third objective for our class today is to communicate and deliver the idea clearly. Okay, so first, what is the teaching model? Okay, we as a teacher must have a reference or guidance how we want to become a good teacher. So here, from Dr. Hafiz explains, he will introduce to you a model, how the model of the teaching, how we can instruct in our class, okay, especially to design our class become an active class, to make our teaching and learning more effective. Okay, here we can say that the model of teaching can be defined as instructional design, which describe the process of specifying and producing particular environmental situation. Okay, that's I mean by the active environment teaching and learning. Okay, which cause the student to interact in such a way that a specific change occurs in their behavior. That means we want to, with the teaching model uh, design, okay, we will change the behavior of our student, we will change the environment of our class and so on. Okay, so please watch this video.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh dan salam sejahtera. #Cemerlang Bersama. #Pioneering Versatility. Untuk episod kali ini, kita akan menyelami apa itu model pengajaran. Apa Saya akan bercerita berkenaan dengan definisi apa sebenarnya model pengajaran. Sekejap Nanti mau notas. Nope. Apa tujuan kita gunakan model pengajaran? Kenapa kita perlukan model pengajaran ni? Dan juga contoh-contoh model-model pengajaran yang ada di luar sana. Saya Dr. Hafiz dan anda sedang menonton Dr. Hafiz Explains. Okey, model pengajaran. Bukan model pembelajaran tapi model pengajaran. So, apa maksud model pengajaran ni? Secara ringkasnya, model pengajaran ni adalah cara bagaimana kita merancang persekitaran pembelajaran dan juga pengalaman instruksi. Macam mana kita bina, kita susun dan kita jalankan strategi pengajaran tersebut. So, itu model pengajaran. Model pengajaran ini mempunyai strategi yang didasari oleh teori-teori pendidikan. Contohnya teori behaviorism, teori constructivism, cognitivism. So, strategi model-model pengajaran ini kita didasari oleh teori-teori pembelajaran. Model pengajaran ini menyediakan kerangka teori ataupun kerangka instructional ataupun kerangka instruksi bagi membangunkan kurikulum. Contohnya model Tyler. Kita ada guna model Tyler untuk membangunkan kurikulum, okey, ataupun merancang teknik-teknik pengajaran, dan juga menguruskan bilik darjah, juga menggunakan model pengajaran, dan juga membangunkan konten dan penyampaian. Term yang digunakan sekarang ini adalah PDPC, iaitu pembelajaran dan pemudahcaraan. So, apa tujuan sebenar model pengajaran ni kan? So model pengajaran ini tujuannya adalah untuk melahirkan satu pengalaman pengajaran yang efektif. So macam mana kita nak tahu satu-satu sesi pengajaran ataupun model pengajaran ataupun pengalaman pengajaran itu satu benda yang efektif. Efektif tak efektif. So efektif ni usually kita measure. Kalau kita lihat model pengajaran ni pada kebiasaannya dia ada empat komponen dalam model-model pengajaran. Okey, 4 komponen. Saya draw arrow sekejap. Okey, 4 komponen. Kita keluarkan 4 komponen tu. So, keempat-empat komponen adalah pertama rasional. Rasional kenapa kita gunakan model tersebut? Model pengajaran. Kenapa model pengajaran itu dirancang sebegitu rupa? Rasional dia, kena ada rasional dia. Dia berdasari kalau dia menggunakan teori behaviorism, dia ada rasionalnya. Dan yang kedua, dia ada langkah-langkah yang perlu diambil oleh guru dan juga murid. Yang ketiga, dia perlu ada support system, sistem sokongan. Dan yang keempat, penilaian kemajuan. Dan di situ kita tahu efektif tak efektif model pengajaran tersebut. Kita nilai bagaimana pelajar dapat atau tidak ilmu yang kita ajarkan tersebut. Okay? So, kenapa kita perlu menggunakan model pengajaran? That's the question. Okay. Yang pertama, memahami kurikulum. Sebenarnya, kalau ikutkan bila kita mengajar, kita menggunakan salah satu model tanpa kita sedari. Okay. Kita memang akan menggunakan salah satu model ataupun kombinasi antara model-model tersebut. Dengan kita tahu ataupun kita aware tentang model-model pengajaran, kita akan lebih memahami kurikulum sebab kurikulum itu dirancang berdasarkan teori-teori pembelajaran, model-model pengajaran. So bila kita tahu kedua-dua belah tu, so jadi kita lebih memahami kurikulum. Bila kita memahami kurikulum, dia akan memudahkan kita deliver the curriculum. Yang kedua, kenapa kita perlu menggunakan model pengajaran? Mengetahui sebab kenapa sesebuah model tersebut berjaya ataupun tidak berjaya. Kenapa? Kalau model tersebut berjaya ataupun kita mengajar cara begini, and then budak-budak punya performance naik. Kenapa? Kadang-kadang kita try and error. Dalam kita mengajar ni, kebanyakannya kita try and error. Kita try, okay, student ni jenisnya macam ni. So, kita try strategi yang kita try tackle student ni jenis yang macam ini dengan cara macam ini, and then membuahkan hasil. Dan itu the tacit dimension of teaching lah. Okay, tapi bila kita aware model-model pengajaran dan teori-teori pembelajaran, kita boleh faham, okay, apa yang kita buat ni adalah contohnya constructivism, dalam dimension constructivism. Dan kita boleh dapat lihat dan kita faham kenapa student react that way. So, bila kita well informed with apa model yang kita pegang dan apa model yang kita jalankan, kita akan lebih memahami kenapa sesuatu tindakan itu ataupun satu strategi kita berhasil ataupun tidak berhasil. Contohnya, kita gunakan strategi gallery walk contoh. Okay? Dan benda tu tak berhasil. So kita tahu yang kita buat itu strategi itu adalah gallery walk dan tidak berhasil. So kita we can take a step back and see why ini aktiviti itu tak membuahkan hasil yang seperti yang kita inginkan. Dan kita boleh tahu, okay, this is activity gallery walk, so we should put that aside first and kita try more on the behavioristic punya kind of like model. Contohnya drill and practice, which is I don't really support, but well, it's tested and proven punya method. Okay, so dengan kita mengetahui apa model yang kita guna, kita dapat tahu the strength and the weaknesses. Yang ketiga, kenapa kita memerlukan model pengajaran adalah untuk menambah variasi kepada pengajaran kita. Contohnya sebelum ni kita tak tahu model pengajaran. So kita main taram aja ikut sedap kita, ikut kesesuaian pelajar, ikut kesesuaian keadaan. Tapi bila kita tahu dan aware tentang model-model pengajaran dan pembelajaran, model-model pengajaran, kita boleh mix and match. Kita buat variasi kepada kita punya pengajaran. So, itu serba sikit introduction berkenaan dengan apa itu model pengajaran. Coffee break. Okay, the next thing in our agenda adalah kita akan discuss contoh-contoh model pengajaran. Okay, dan contoh-contoh model pengajaran ini adalah berdasarkan the four families of philosophy dan additional one. Okay, dan saya akan terangkan sekejap lagi. Okay, from the four families of philosophy, the first one is personalist. Kalau kita lihat daripada segi dimensi personalist, dia mengatakan bahawa model pengajaran adalah menggariskan bahawa setiap pelajar itu unik. So it's a personal, it's individual. Okay, strategi-strategi di bawah dimensi ini mengutamakan aktiviti ke arah pembangunan potensi individu dan juga eksplorasi nilai diri. Okay, it's all about self-centric punya dimension, personalist. Dan model yang ada nilai-nilai personalist ini bagus untuk menaikkan keyakinan diri, efikasi diri dan juga kebijaksanaan emosi pelajar. So itu adalah dari segi dimensi personalist. Okay, kita pergi kepada dimensi yang seterusnya, iaitu dimensi social dimension. Okay, dan dalam dimensi ini ia berfokuskan kepada membina komuniti pembelajaran dan mendukung idea bahawa pembentukan ilmu adalah secara bersama. It's all about togetherness. Okay, we are building the knowledge together. Okay, menggariskan bahawa pembelajaran adalah satu proses sosial. It's a social thing. Learning is a social thing. Dalam bilik darjah kita tak ada, dalam satu sesi pengajaran kita tak patut design a learning to be like very individualistic. Tak ada apa orang kata tu, interaksi sesama kawan-kawan dalam kelas. It's very very individualistic. Dia tak macam tu. Okay, dalam dimensi sosial, it's all about the we-ness, the togetherness. Okay, dalam menimba ilmu. Okay, so itu social. What about next? The next dimension is behavioral. Okay, behavioral. Dan dimensi behavioral ni, mengikut kata dimensi behavioral ni, pembelajaran berlaku dalam situasi darjah penstrukturan yang tinggi. Is a very structured activity. Learning is a very structured activity dengan objektif yang jelas, with a clear goal, with a clear objective, and the end goal has been determined early on. Okay, macam contoh kita dalam lesson plan yang sekarang kita gunakan, kita still lagi ada elemen behavioral. Maksudnya kita ada objektif pembelajaran ataupun sekarang ni di SKP standard pembelajaran. Okay, and dalam tu kita set, okay, contohnya di akhir sesi pembelajaran, pelajar akan A1, 2, 3, and it's all measurable. Okay, so it's behaviorist kind of like centric punya model pengajaran. The next, the fourth dimension is information processing. Okay, dalam information processing ni dia memfokuskan kepada pembangunan intellectual, okay, kuasa penaklukan, reasoning skill and also logical thinking. Dan ianya membantu pelajar mengumpul dan mengingati ilmu dan juga menambah baik fungsi metakognisi. So ini adalah information processing punya dimension dalam model pengajaran. Dan selepas keempat-empat ni kita labelkan sebagai classical philosophy punya families. There are four classical philosophical families. Ada tambahan. Lately kita ada hybrid, mixed kind of like model, di mana ianya adalah gabungan antara beberapa elemen yang ada dalam the classical model. Contohnya personal plus social ataupun social plus information processing, behavioral plus personalist contohnya. So itu dirangkumkan ke dalam satu grup yang baru iaitu dinamakan sebagai mix ataupun hybrid punya model. Okey, kita telah sampai kepada penghujung episod kali ini. Kita telah belajar apa itu model pengajaran, jenis-jenis model pengajaran, kenapa perlu kita menggunakan model pengajaran dan juga the four families of philosophy dan juga tambahan extra satu group iaitu mix ataupun hybrid. Untuk episod yang seterusnya kita akan mendalami lagi model-model pengajaran dengan contoh-contoh model pengajaran bagi setiap dimensi yang telah kita sebutkan tadi. Sehingga kita bertemu lagi, saya Dr. Hafiz dan anda telah mengikuti salah satu episod daripada Dr. Hafiz Explains. Assalamualaikum dan salam Malaysia.
I hope you can get the clearly idea what is the teaching model is. Okay, so now we go to the instructional design. Okay, instructional design is defined as a systematic process. That means we have to follow their steps or their phase, okay, in terms of how to design our class. Okay, so this instructional design is employed to develop education and training programs in a consistent and reliable fashion. Okay, that's I meant by design our class implementation. Okay, so ID model or instructional design model, okay, or theories that may be taught as a framework, okay, for developing modules or lesson. First is to increase and to enhance the possibility of learning. Of course, we want to make our class more better than before this. Okay, so we have to integrate with some of the ID models. And the second one, to encourage the engagement of our learners so that they can learn faster and gain deeper level of understanding. Okay, that's so because of these two factors. Okay, so we must have the systematic process that be uh, be implement with the instructional design. Okay, so here we have to clearly understand the definition of three terms here. First is the instructional system. Okay, when we talk about system, it is an arrangement or resources and procedures to promote learning. Okay, so we have the system, we have the structure. How do we want to arrange? How we want um, to uh, to make our teaching and learning process more systematic. Okay, and then we also have the instructional technology. It is the systemic and systematic application of strategies and techniques derived from behavior. That's mean from our student attitude, okay, cognitive, our student mental and minds, and constructivist theories. Okay, yes, we know constructivist theories is a hands-on activity, okay, to the solution of instructional problem. Okay, and the third one is the instructional development. It is the process of implementing the design plans. Okay, when we have to design, when we have a complete plan for our instructional system, and then we will implement it to the instructional development. Okay, so here in instructional system design, okay, the first term, instructional system, okay, instructional system design is involve a systematic process for the assessment and development of training solution. So we have assessment and development. Okay, it also to design specifically for the purpose of formal training delivery. So when we want to design our class for formal class or formal training, we have to follow some of the instructional system design. And the goal of ISD is to create successful learning experience and transfer of training. So we want to make our class more effective. So our student can get their experience, okay, real experience when they attend our class. Okay, and ISD focus into the three concept here. First, we have to identify the goals. That's mean what we the goal of our topics for today, for example. Okay, the student, that's why when I start our class, I will tell you what is the learning objective for today class. So what you have to focus, what content that you have to highlight. So first thing first, we want to identify the goals of our class for today, or for the topic. Okay, and then we select the strategy. Okay, for example, for today, I just the strategy of our teaching is interactive lecture, or not the very interactive, because this is a one way communication, right? So for example, the last week we do game based learning, because we use Kahoot, right? So we choose the best strategies that we want to implement in our class, and then we evaluate the success. Okay, from here, when for example, when you do training, face for example, workshop training or demonstration training, so uh, you will do a pre and post evaluation. Okay, you distribute a survey maybe, and then in the survey you will take their feedback, the participant or learners feedback on what they have learned, what the skill improvement or knowledge improvement they get from the training, and so on. Okay, for example, in the class, maybe at the end of your session, uh, or reflection, okay, you will do a simple evaluation. For example, you take their you do a online sorry, you do a quick test, or maybe a simple question and answer session, so you can get the feedback from your student. Okay, all right, and then in ISD, usually there are this is a common terms, component that we have in the ISD, or in the instructional design, which is we have the analysis, we have design, we have develop and implement. Okay, and then we also can have a rapid prototype if we use the product in our instructional system. Okay, and then from the all in this phase, we have to evaluate. Okay, because we want to see the not the pro and cons, the flaws. Okay, maybe the flaws of our techniques, of our product, and so on. We also have evaluation. We have also have a formative. Formative means the testing is happen during each phases, and the last, after the all the phases have been completed, we will do the summative. Okay, it is a final evaluation to see the learner's reaction, what else, the result, behavior, okay, and uh, uh, the progress. Okay, so not the progress, the achievement. Progress we see in the formative. Okay, so here we have to consider four things here. First, about the people. People is who is our target. Okay, which is our learners, maybe our participants in our program, and so on. And then we have to consider the material we use. Okay, the content used to help the learners become better performer. Here maybe we can use physical materials or digital materials. such as teaching aid, okay, maybe books, games, and so on. And then we also have to consider about the technology. Okay, the learning methodologies, media, and so on. It also includes the technology that the learners are trying to master, especially for the technical or vocational student. They have to know about the technology. Okay, for example, you as a multimedia student, you have to know about some of the programming part, some of the authoring tools, software. Okay, when you want to learn in the multimedia subject. Okay, and then time. Okay, time is also the very uh, important to take care of, because when we do the activities, especially in our class, we have to expect how much time we need to complete certain things. Okay, the time is very invested in creating the learner platform, and the time used to train the learners. If you use some methods or strategy in our teaching and learning, so we have to make sure our student can do the activities within the time. Okay, so the ISD process usually come in the three phases. First is input. Input is what we plan to in our process, and then we do the process. Lastly, the output. Okay, what are the outcomes from our plan or our in our instructional system. Okay, all right. Okay, so here there are actually, there are a lot of ISD models. But here I will show you five different types of ISD models that are commonly used in our teaching and learning. First is AD model. Second is Assure model. And then we have got nine events of instructional model. Then we have Merrill's principle of instructional model, and the number five is the CAM instructional design model. So after this, I will explain to you one by one about these different types of ISD. Okay, all right. First, okay, first is AD model. AD model is very commonly used in teaching and learning, especially when it involved in using digital. Okay, so here AD model is from it's a very long time ago it has developed. Okay, 1975. There are various adaptation of AD model, but it's these five phases is generally used. Okay, first is analyze. Okay, AD model is abbreviation from the A, analyze, D, design, D, develop, I, implement, okay, and E, evaluate. Okay, first we go to analyze. Here we want in this stage we will identify the performance environment in order to understand it and then describe the goals needed. So here is more to the what when you want to use uh, uh, software or courseware, you have to analyze who is your student. Okay, their background, their level of cognitive behavior, and maybe about their psychomotor level. Okay, the content. Okay, what topic you want to highlight in your teaching and learning techniques and so on. And then you design here a process to achieve your goals, and then maybe you plan how to the rough idea to implement or to develop your product, your courseware. and then after you get the real design, maybe in terms of storyboard, okay, flow chart and so on, you will develop your courseware. So your initial discoveries and process into a product that will assist the learners into becoming performance. Here, yeah, okay, uh, you will develop using the authoring tools, the software, and so on. After you have finished all the design and develop phases, you will implement it. Okay, so here by delivering a courseware to the learners, how? Okay, maybe by the installation, okay, in class, how you manage the product or the courseware into your class and so on. And then after that, you will evaluate the performance of the courseware or your product. And then here we will see the effectiveness or the usability of your product by the learners feedback. Okay, this process is dynamic and flexible, so you will freely um, to to go through or to follow step by step of AD model. Okay, here is the figure, all right, or figure or the overview, the model of the AD model. So we have here analysis, design, development, okay, implementation, and evaluation. You also have when you can see in your notes the detail about what have been done or what the activity for every phases here. All right, as I mentioned earlier. Okay, the second model is Assure. Same like as the AD, Assure is a abbreviation of A, analyze, S, state objective, as also select the instructional methods, media and materials. U, utilize media and materials. R, require learners participation. And E, evaluate and revise. Okay, here Asia model by Heinrich Mollender in 1019 and 99, okay, is utilize technology in media in the classroom. Okay, besides other than AD is more general. You can use AD for develop books, also can we want to develop physical things, but Azure model is more into the technology. That's why we have here the select instructional methods, media and materials, and utilize media and materials in class. Okay, so here Assure is a way to ensure that the learner environment is appropriate, okay, appropriate for student. Okay, Assure can be used in lesson plans to improve your own teaching and your students learning, all while using the technology. So when it comes to the technology, we usually use Assure model. Okay. Okay, here also the description of the actual models. For example, for analyze the learners about their demographic, okay, about the pedagogy, about their competency, learning style. So we have to know our student first. So that from that we can design how our instructional methods or strategy we want to use in our courseware development. Okay, and then we state the objective. Okay, we know what we want to highlight in our courseware or in our products. Okay, and then we select method, media and materials, especially is it okay if we use only video, we use only text. Okay, maybe the video and the slide is appropriate enough, or so on. Okay, and then we utilize it, okay, using we do the preparation, we do the setting, okay, we set up the environment, okay, and then we get the learners participation, okay, we do the test, we we do the discussion and see the feedback. And then from that, we evaluate and improve our the weakness from the previous strategies. Okay, so this is Azure model. Okay, now we go to the third model, which is Gardner. Okay, Gardner is one of the philosophies or scholar. Okay, about in psychologists that he has um, developed a model called 9 events of instructional. Okay, in 1965. Okay, these 9 events of instructional is essential to the Gardner's idea of instructional. Instruction, he calls condition of learning. So here, when we call it events, so it depends on the situation. Okay, so the internal condition here, we when he talk about the condition of learning, he uh he he divide it into the internal condition and the external conditions. Okay, external condition is deal with previously learned capabilities of the learner, or in other words, what the learners know prior to the instruction. That's mean uh, the uh, uh, the knowledge that student have before this. Okay, the already knowledge. That means pengetahuan sedia ada. Okay, and then the external condition is deal with the stimuli. Okay, the stimuli here when we give our learners some um, what we call it, something that trigger them. Okay, that is presented internally to the learner. For example, the instruction is provided to the learners. So that name most essential ingredient for teaching. First is to presenting the knowledge or demonstrating the skill. Okay, providing practice with feedback and providing learner guidance. Okay, that's why non-event of instructional is more into the condition. Okay, when we can see here, the event is structured from first to get the attention from our learners. Okay, so we maybe we get the attention, we show them a video, or we do with a quick question and answer session and so on. And then we will orient the learners with the prep and objectives. So here the teacher will clearly explain to the learners what the objective of the topics for today, for example. And then the third event is stimulate recall of prior knowledge. This I mean by pengetahuan sedia ada. Okay, so maybe the teachers will do a quick answer question and answer session, and the teachers will ask what they have learned from the previous uh, class. Okay, and then after that, the teachers will connect the previous knowledge or the prior knowledge with the new knowledge that they will learn for today. So the teachers will present the content material and then provide the learners guidance. Okay, and after that, they do the evaluation from in terms of practice. Okay, and then they get the feedback and then assess if lesson objective have been learned from the reflection session and enhance retention and transfer. So we can see here, this is the complete event when we do in our class, from the induction setting, and then go to the perkembangan. What is perkembangan? Development process of our teaching and learning, and then lastly the reflection. Okay. Okay. And the fifth one, okay, is Mary's 5 principle. When we want to do activity that based on problem-based learning, that you have heard about problem-based learning. Okay, problem-based learning in if when we create or give to our student a problem they have to solve. Okay, from the problem is related to to our topics, then they have to explore uh, what uh, what the solution to be implement in the class to solve the problem. So from the Mary's principle of instruction, is a promote when learners are engaged in solving real world problems. So we give to our student the real problem that happens around them. Okay, and the learning is promoted when existing knowledge and skill is activate as the foundation for new knowledge and skills. Okay, so here learning is promoted when new knowledge is demonstrated to the learner. For example, you have learned about the structure, the stability. For example, in science, you have learned about the stability of a building, for example, in science. And then your teacher give you problem. The problem is about now in there are flood. Okay, flood happens in many village or area. So the solution is they must build a bridge, for example, the high bridge. So how you want to develop or construct a stable bridge. Okay, so here you have to use your existing knowledge and skills. So to do the application or to apply in the activities to create the new knowledge that you will get from the activity. Okay, so here we can see the problem centered. So you will give the problem and then go to the activation, which um, the new your knowledge, your previous existing knowledge and skill will activate. Okay, you will plan what you want to do. You will plan what you will use in the in to you will use to solve the problem, and then you do the demonstration or you do the application. So after that you implement it and you integrate it. So here integration here reflect on discussion, defend their newly acquired skills, or integrate the skills into a real world activity. Okay, this is Merrill's principle of instructions. Okay, This and then we have CAM instructional design model. Okay, so here the model is particularly useful for developing instructional program that blend technology, pedagogy, and content. So here we can see the three layer here. First layer, it have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, 8 phases. It seems like the AD and Azure model. That means we have to analyze the instructional problem, learner characteristic, task analysis, okay, instructional objective, content sequencing, instructional strategy, designing the message, instructional delivery, and evaluation instrument. So here, uh, we have to know the content or the main structure of our uh, instructional design. Okay, so the CAM design model adopt a circular structure. The circular means this round, okay, rather than one that's a linear. So when we call it circular, so it is flexible. Okay, maybe you want to you have all this you have all these three from the previous design, instructional design you have done. So you just can continue the others. Okay. Marison highlight four essential elements to form the framework. First, you want to know the learners, objective of your lessons, methods, and then evaluation. Okay. And then there are, as I said before, there are a lot of model. Okay, for example, this dig and carry instructional design model. So you can see here, okay, from identify instructional goal, and then they have two ways of the conduct instructional analysis, or maybe identify entry behavior. Okay, if you choose the conduct instructional analysis, you have to write the performance objective, and then you go to develop creation and develop instructional strategies. Okay, you will follow the steps they have provide you the step what you as a teacher have to follow to design your instructional or the lesson planning in your class. Okay, and then you also have Kirkpatrick for levels of training evaluation. So here from the bottom, okay, we start from the bottom. We see the reaction of our participants, of our learner, what they thought and felt about the training, and then the learning, okay, the resulting increased knowledge of capability, transfer knowledge, okay, extent of our the behavior, capability improvement, implementation of application, and the last one, okay, about the result, okay, the effect of the business or environment resulting for the training performance. Business here is the goal, okay, the goal of our teaching and learning process, okay, the objective. Okay, other than that, we have Smith and Regan's model. uh, is a same as the others model. We have analysis, strategy, and evaluation. We have rapid prototyping. We have the first we have to prototype our product, and then we do the review, and then we deliver the product or courseware, and then we refine and iterate the product. So this rapid prototyping is more into the development model. Okay. Okay, so as a conclusion, from the many models that we learned for today, actually there are four basic activities in the development process or in the instructional design we have to consider or we have to focus. First, to identify the needs and establish requirement. Okay, that means we have to identify our target user, the content, the capabilities of our student, the background, the requirement of the courseware or the product. Okay, and then we design the potential solution. Okay, we design and development. Okay, we do the sketch, we do the storyboard, we do the planning. Okay, and then we choose between alternative. So here we evaluate the effectiveness, the usability, the efficiency, and so on. And then we execute or implement the courseware or the strategy that we have planning. Okay, so in an instructional designer apply the systematic methodology, okay, rooted in instructional theory and model to design and development content, experience, and other solution to support the acquisition of new knowledge or skill. For as a conclusion here, we need the instructional design to plan the structured or systematic um, planning for a lesson in our teaching and learning to make our lesson become successful. Okay, so you have to choose either which model that suitable with your techniques in teaching and learning. Okay, so that's all for this week. Okay, please check my guru because I have provide you some of the tasks that you have to complete for this week, and for next week I will tell you in the um, WhatsApp update. Okay, so that's all for this week. Bye.